Okay, going back to this problem, let's calculate our profit or loss if 4,001 cases are sold. So profit equals revenue minus cost. This time, I'm going to write this with variables before I put in our numbers. Profit is revenue. Revenue is price times quantity, and quantity is X. Cost is going to be fixed costs plus variable cost times X. Moving this around, I end up with price minus variable cost, X. I've moved it around and I factored that out, minus the fixed costs. One thing to make sure of is the minus here in the brackets distributes. I'm going to write that down because it's an easy thing to forget. So price minus variable cost times X minus fixed costs. We've seen this before. In our case, we got to the point where 12 minus 450 X minus 30,000. That number, price minus variable costs, is something that we call the contribution margin. Another way to think of that is the gross profit per item. That's what we were looking at in Chapter 1. Anytime we calculated our margins and markups, we were usually looking at that gross profit per item or markup in dollars. Those all mean the same thing. That happens a lot in business math. We end up with the same idea but expressed differently. In this case, we had 750x minus $30,000. That's the profit equation for Happy Days ice cream. 750 is our profit margin. Okay, where am I going with this? Let's go back to profit or loss if 4,001 cases are sold. So if X equals 4,001, there's an extra zero there. I have profit equals 750 times 4,001 minus $30,000. Putting that into my calculator, I end up with $30,007.50 minus $30,000, which gives me 750. That's the contribution margin. That isn't a coincidence. So I'm going to say the first 4,000 cases pay off the fixed costs. Every additional case contribution, $7.50 to the net profit. And in this case, we are talking about net profit because we're subtracting the fixed costs. That means if we sell X equals 4,002 cases, our profits, net profits, are going to be 2 times $7.50 or $15.